working so much lately, I can barely find the time to sleep. Yeah, I spend my time running around, keeping people pleased. But this is my favorite holiday.
Happy December. Let's plan the month. So let's start with what I did to reset for this month. You saw a little bit in the intro. I have started decorating for Christmas. I'm almost done, so that's always nice to reset by redecorating the home. Got rid of all that fall stuff and pulled out all our Christmas stuff and decorated the fireplace, the outside, all the things that us ladies and some men love to do. So that was a nice reset, and I just love like decorating. Any excuse to decorate, I'm in. I also, for my reset, I readjusted my batch days. I mentioned in my last monthly plan with me that I took a step back from doing clinical work, and I'm still, as far as neuropsychology work, I'm supervising interns and providing training for our interns in neuropsychology, and I may pick up a couple classes teaching neuropsychology. But for the large part, I have taken a step back from clinical work because it was burning me out. I was getting a lot of compassion fatigue, and I'm also going through a lot in my personal life. So that was kind of adding on to my stress. And so that means I have had to kind of redo my schedule. Of course, I'm still wanting to be as productive as possible. I'm putting that time and energy into my business, which is a blessing and a privilege to be able to do. And so with that, I am rearranging my batch days. So I like to work in batch days to save energy, to be more productive, and I kind of set them staple in my everyday life. So I kind of detail everything I need to be doing now for my current duties and responsibilities. I'm opening up my planner because I have a rough draft here. Once I get it solidified, I will put it in my actual habits and routines organizer. I'll also put it in my Notion second brain, which my organizer's in there as well. But for now, I have it on paper. Let's see if that'll show up. You can kind of see I put grids here, and I put Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays and Fridays. So to reset for this month, I just realigned for each week of the month. The weeks are here. Let's see what was in 1, 2, 3, 4. I put what I want to be doing. So that goes from things like CMO days, like marketing, CFO days, finances, budgeting, those kinds of things. Everything, I wrote down a list of everything I want to do in my business, all the habits, all the routines, and then I kind of block them into a schedule for myself. So Mondays is looking like it's going to be admin, mostly like switching between planning, personal admin, business admin, catching up on emails, email marketing, that kind of stuff. And then the second week, it'll rotate back and forth. It's going to be more like budgeting, business administration, bookkeeping, product development, those kinds of things, reviewing edits from my editor. And then Tuesdays, I have behind the scenes now, which I'm going to be doing my scripting for my YouTube videos, other marketing things, creating blogs, creating my social media short form, all the marketing behind the scenes. And then Wednesday is like an overflow day to kind of finish anything I didn't finish on Tuesday and Monday. Mostly scripting and researching is probably what it's going to end up being. And then Thursdays is my neuropsychology day. That's when I'm meeting with our interns. I have a seminar that I'm teaching them as well on Thursdays. And then that's only going to take probably half the day on Thursdays. So other than that, I'm going to write my newsletter for the week. I'm also going to prep for filming, schedule any short form that I've created the previous week, and then Fridays are my filming days. So I'll do, if I'm doing YouTube lives that month, filming my videos for YouTube, filming any short form, and then meeting with my husband for our family meeting for the week. So I'm going to test this out in December, see how it works, and then if it's accurate, then I will put it in my habits and routines organizer in my Notion second brain. So I don't have to, I'll still keep the paper version just because I like having both, and it changes and I can mark it up easily. So that's one thing I did to reset. And then speaking of my habits and routines organizer, I also have on there my monthly reset things that I do that I don't think I mentioned last time, but this comes in really handy. So if you don't know what a habits and routines organizer is, it's essentially, I have a template to help you navigate it, but if you want to do it for yourself, you clarify, what are the habits that are most important to you and that support your goals and your values, and then you plug those habits into different routines. If I'll put pictures up on the screen, but I have early morning routine, a morning routine. I'm looking at my notepad here. I have a lunch routine, evening routine, and then I have different things that I do weekly that we just talked about for different batch days, like a Monday, Fridays, those kinds of things. And then I have a monthly routine. So if you have the Notion template, you can just pull those habits into different routines. It's really easy to use. And then when you go to each segment, so at the bottom, I have a habits and routine tracker, which is very handy. I use it largely on the daily habit tracking, and when I go to plan my weekly habits is when I see it the most, but I also look at it for my monthly tracker, a quarterly habit tracker, and things I just want to do yearly, like plan the year. Quarterly are a lot of like, besides planning my 12-week years, like house stuff, things that I want to maintain around the house. And then I'll share what's on my monthly habit tracker that I usually do to reset. Plan the month, which I'll put that here because I already did that. We're doing that together. I like to also share my story, so find a way to talk about who I am and share who I am with my audience. I did that today on my YouTube live. One blog for SEO purposes on my Mod Ambition website, one newsletter, and one Pinterest collage that I repurposed to LTK. So those are kind of like the things that I keep up with on the monthly basis, and then any home stuff like decorating, that kind of stuff. So take a moment to think about what you want to do to just reset and feel like you're walking into December with a fresh mind and a fresh start. Okay, so now let's kind of check in with where we are in the 12-week year. I use the book, The 12-Week Year Strategies, along with a lot of other evidence-based strategies to reach my goals. And so I do use it following the calendar year, which I think is helpful. So right now for me, I am walking into the third month of this 12-week year. So it's the last 4 weeks in this 12-week year. And I kind of like to contextualize the intention and the purpose of this last 4 weeks in the 12-week year. And I like to usually break that down for you guys as well. So I'll put up an image on the screen to help you understand. But Q4 is all about flourishing. We've had times to sit with our goals. We've been going hard on our goals usually as much as we can, given any life circumstances throughout the year. And in the fourth quarter, you're kind of in the groove of your goals. And in that last month, which is December, I like to use that month to kind of slow down actually. So I'm still going hard on my goals. I'm in touch with my goals. I'm probably right now at the most centered as far as feeling like I'm actually showing up for them each and every week and doing what I'm supposed to. Probably in large part because I cut back on clinical work, but you're in the groove with those goals. So now it's time to kind of pause and reflect and enjoy. I always talk about enjoying our journey. I love the holiday season, no matter what religion you are. I think for most people, the holidays are a time to enjoy family, to celebrate holidays, and to just kind of take a step back. It's also the time that I plan for the new year. So it's a lot of reflection and resetting. So while you are pushing and you have that urgency because you only have 4 weeks left in the year, you're also kind of oddly also slowing down to reflect and look at who you want to evolve into and how you want to set yourself up for 2025. So I think if you can put yourself in that mind frame, it's going to help you plan your month a little bit easier as well. So I invite you to pull out your planner. I'm using my Mod Ambition planner, which is linked below if you're interested, but whatever planner you use, let's pull it out and actually get to the planning. So as always, what helps me really move into planning my month effortlessly is to do some reflecting on my previous goals and my larger goals so that I can set my goals with more intention and more meaning. And I always suggest that to you guys as well. So let's take a look at my November goals to see how I did with them. So the monthly goals that I had for November that I brainstormed in my actual planner, the first one is daily journaling. This is something that I actually need to improve upon. I have not been doing that consistently as I want to. And it's largely because I've been going to sleep earlier, which has been a big help in actually waking up earlier. But my kids wake up at like 5 a.m. still. And I can't, it's just hard when I don't have time for myself. So what we actually started doing back today is they have those hatch lights and they have to stay in their rooms till it's green. So they can be awake, that's fine. They can get out of their bed, but they have to play in their room until their hatch light turns green. And that'll help me, I'm hoping, get more time to myself in the morning. This morning it was great. So I feel like even though I have been waking up again earlier, going to bed earlier so I can do that, I also have to follow through with teaching my kids to give me that alone time, which I think is a good thing to teach them, for them to see. So I think that'll help me in December. Trigger warning, I'm going to talk about weight for probably like 10-15 seconds. I had a goal to lose 5 pounds. That is going great. I have been losing the weight that I wanted to. So that'll give myself a check on. Also wanted to start eating healthier meals. I've been adding one new healthy meal per week to our meal planning, which has been good, getting back to that gut health journey that I started very aggressively at the beginning of the year and then kind of fell off with. So I'm happy to say I'm getting back on track. Daily grace with my kiddos has been great. So they are good about reminding me to do grace. And now since we've been doing it at every meal, they've memorized it. So checking that off as a goal I've already accomplished for the quarter, because it was my goal to teach them their grace for this quarter and then continue practicing it. So that's another check. Morning letters has also been good. I would say it's about 85%, 75% of the time we're doing their letters in the morning. We also do it in the evening during the weekdays only. So that's going good. Completing our Christmas card. We are not done with that. So we got half of the portion done. We still need to shoot another section of the family card and I need to mail it. So we're a little bit behind on that, and that's largely because I hadn't put up our Christmas decorations and we're taking the picture at home. So that should be getting complete soon. Planning our family trip, that's done. And then launch work. I had a promotion for Black Friday. That's going really well. I'm filming this a little bit earlier than December, so I still have a week to finish it. And I think I have it in my plan to finish it. So I think that's going to be good. So if you're not on my email list and you want to hear about my Black Friday deals, I will put a link in the description as well. So that's how I did on my monthly goals. How did you do with your monthly goals? Did you meet the goals that you set for November? If so, give yourself a pat on the back. And if you didn't quite meet them, I want you to think about what got in the way and is there anything you can do about that without beating yourself up? Okay, so another thing that I like to do before setting my monthly goals is always going through my last month's wins and my last month's challenges. This will help you flow into your goals for the current month that you're planning, because you're coming from a more intentional place. And it's in my Mom Ambitions Planner and it guides you through it completely. So let's talk about my last month's win. Wins definitely was my daughter's birthday. I have a 5-year-old now, which was emotional. I feel like I was really emotional this year, but then I looked back at her last year, pictures that I posted on Instagram. I had put in the caption the same thing, like, it's been really emotional, I've been crying. But I feel like this time, because 5 is the age where you're going to start kindergarten. She can start this year because she wasn't 5, but she'll be starting next year and we've enrolled her in school and things like that. So it's just like, yeah, it was a win, but also emotional. And I'll leave that there because I don't want to cry. It's like, I feel like it's so hard. It's like we want them to become more independent and grow, but I also still want her to be my baby. Another win was letting go of clinical work, at least for now and probably for the foreseeable future. That was a weight off my shoulder. My mood has been better. I've been less irritable around my kids. I haven't had like nightmares. I used to have nightmares about the trauma that I was hearing. So that's definitely a win, to just give my mental a break. Also, my live workshop for this month is a win. Get 2025 ready for me. If you want to see those, you can go back on my lives on this channel. I did an entire workshop on how to get ready for 2025, and we just dove a little bit deeper. And so if you joined me, thanks for joining me there. I also reached 8,000 subscribers on this YouTube channel, so that I'm really happy with the growth. I'm happy for the new folks that are around, and I'm just grateful to have you. So if you aren't subscribed, now would be a good time to help a sister out, to help me with my YouTube goals. That would be great. But I'm really grateful for the progress and everybody that's here. My mom's health was also a win for this month. So my mom has cancer, and it's been very difficult, from finding out to wrapping my brain around it, not being able to be there for her, like at her chemos and stuff. I have FaceTime her a couple of times and I try to check on her a lot, but like not physically being there has been hard. But we got some really great news. Her prognosis is great. She's doing the best that we could actually hope for. So that's definitely a win, and I'm so grateful to God for that. And then the last win that I wrote down was teaching my kids their grace. What were your wins for the month of November? Be sure to celebrate yourself and to just live in that abundance. And then of course, I also look at my challenges, because this helps me figure out what I need to course correct, anything I can learn from, any lessons like that. Last month's challenges, JV traveling again. Anytime I am solo parenting with him out of town, it's hard. It's really hard. It's like so grateful for him when he comes back. So that was difficult. I mean, the lesson there is just to prepare and not plan so much when he's gone, just to be more realistic, because I'm more tired. It's kind of sappy and cliche, but I don't really sleep as well when he's not in bed with me. We've been together. We've been married since 2018, so 6 years. And when we got married, we had almost been together 6 years. So we're running on 12 years in December. of being together. So it's hard when he's not there because I'm just so used to him being there and I miss him. Also, challenges were election depression. I won't say too much about that. Some of you guys may have been actually happy after the election. I was in the 92% of Black women that were likely depressed or, upset about what happened. I won't get political here. We'll just leave it there. But I even had nightmares after the election. Like, it really bothered me. I have now resolved to just let go and let God. It is what it is. Everything's not going to be how I always want it to be as far as who is in power. And that's just the way it is. There's nothing I can do about that. Also, a challenge was searching for a new editor. So I am looking for a new editor, and I had tried a couple of folks, and I was hopeful that it would work out, and it didn't work out just because my main goal right now is posting more on YouTube, and timeliness is important. So I'm in a trial right now to finding another editor. I think I am on to one of the women that I am giving a trial with. I think it's going to work out. So I'm hopeful for that. So although it's challenging to kind of look for someone new to work with, it's also exciting because that's going to help me out a lot and be able to get you guys more videos and higher quality videos. And also a challenge last month is I didn't promote my planner as much. Like, I was looking around and thinking about, was there any emails that I sent? Sometimes I'll do like ads, especially around this time. I think because I was transitioning out of client work, I was more focused on making sure, my boss there had everything she needed with me leaving, and all my files were nice and tidy, making this decision to leave, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I think that's why I was just kind of transitioning in November, and hopefully the sales and me being able to dedicate like real promotions to it will pick up. Obviously, my Black Friday campaign was the one that I dedicated to do, but I just want to be more intentional about sharing about my planner because I believe in it and I think it can help women. So I need to be talking about it more. But I think anybody that has a business might agree that sometimes you kind of feel shy about sharing, or I don't know, sometimes just take a break. And yeah, I need to be more confident in just talking about something that I created and that I know that works. So those were my challenges last month. What were your challenges for the month of November? Are there any lessons that you can learn as you think about them? So now let's talk about my larger goals so that we can get a better understanding. I like to encourage you to do the same for setting your monthly goals. Go back to those previous milestones. Look at what you're working towards so you can use this next coming month as a milestone to get there. So my word of the year is wellness. That has showed up so many different ways. Most recently, quitting clinical work. My yearly goals are just vaguely put, for privacy reasons, are total wellness, nurturing my family, and expanding my business. My quarterly goal for total wellness is to lose 10 pounds by 2025. My nurturing my family quarterly goal, I have a few: teaching my kids their grace, celebrating holidays and traditions, and taking our family trip to Mexico. And so they've already learned their grace, so that's already one checked off. And then for expanding my business, my quarterly goal is by 2025, I will double my monthly revenue. So I looked at those. I encourage you, what are your yearly and quarterly goals? Take a minute to just think about those. Then, now that I have a good grasp on where I'm going, my reflection on the last month, I go into my other prompts that are in my monthly planning page. Starting with my intention for this month, I wrote down is to flourish and reflect, which goes back to what I was saying to you guys about the purpose of this last month as we move into 2025. Enjoying like the fruits of our labor throughout this year, kind of just leaning into finishing the year strong, and also reflecting on what I'm taking with me into 2025 and what I'm leaving behind and what I want to create anew. So that's my intention for the month. What's your intention for December? Similar to that, the next prompt that I usually do is how I want to feel this month. I want to feel relaxed in a flow state, and I also want to feel joyful. So that goes into just kind of flourishing and moving into December from a calm, sort of confident stance, happy stance, joyful stance, in a flow state as I'm still working towards all those things that I wanted to achieve this year. And then the last prompt I do before brainstorming my monthly goals are this month's priority. So I have two priorities this month: family memories, so Christmas, New Year's Eve, those kinds of things, our trip to Mexico, and then also my planner email campaign. So I am releasing the printable version of my printer in A5 size because folks have asked me for it smaller. Folks have also asked me to ship it internationally. That's not something I'm prepared to do just yet. I am working on a version for next year, but as of now, for those that possibly want it in a smaller size, or that just want the printable version, I don't know, for whatever reason you don't want to buy it already already printed for you. I'm working on that. So I will be doing email campaign to announce that. And I should have a video coming out soon just showing people how to do that and how to use it. So those are my 2 priorities for the month. What are your priorities for the month? Okay, I'm realizing when I talk to you guys and ask you, I really hope you're answering these. And it kind of reminds me of when my kids are like watching Blue's Clues or something on TV and Steve is like, do you see it? Or Miss Rachel will ask, how do you say this? And the kids, instead of answering, they're just like looking at the TV. I hope you're not just looking at the screen. I hope you're answering and planning along with me. Okay, so moving on, let's talk about my actual monthly goals for December. So for my total wellness goals, I have a few. Being more intentional with sharing of my planner. As you can see, that comes directly from my reflection. Just being more intentional about that. Mailing our Christmas card and morning journaling. So those are all kind of flowed naturally based on the reflection work I did. And also sleeping by 10, continuing to do that I put as a goal. And then under nurturing my family, I have Elf on the Shelf. Pray for me, guys. It's like last year I really debated, was I going to start this? Because I was like, you know, you got to then do it every year. Oh, child. And I was like so excited at the beginning, like, oh, it's so cute. It's so fun. This year, not that I'm dreading it. It's just, I got to get myself together. I got to organize it. And it's coming like, you know, in a couple days when you're watching this video. So what I go do is go to the Dollar Tree usually and just buy like small toys and just think about like little scenarios I can create with those little cheap toys. So Elf on the Shelf is a goal, our family trip, and continuing to do our morning letter sounds. So basically we just go through the alphabet and do all the phonics for the letters. And then goals for expanding my business. I have my December campaign announcing the printable, sharing about my planner. Also my weekly newsletter, which is not really about promoting my planner. It's just kind of productivity, planning, organization tips to help ambitious women. I really enjoy my weekly newsletter because it's like no pressure. It's all about helping. So that is a goal, getting back on sending that out weekly. And then I also want to do 11 YouTube videos in the month of December. So that's ambitious. I also have a lot of birthdays that I'll be celebrating. My birthday is December 10th. I have my nephew's birthday is in December. My grandma's heavenly birthday is in December. My mom's birthday. My 2 friends have their son's birthday in December. So yeah, and you know, of course, Christmas and Christmas Eve, New Year's Eve. It's also going to be just a lot of celebrating, a lot of fun, a lot of family. So I love December. It's probably not just because it's my birthday month, but it's probably my favorite month of the year because of just that slowing down, that reflection, the holidays, my birthday, all those kinds of things. So what are your goals for the month of December? And then the last thing I want to do is walk you guys through my lead goals. So based on my monthly goals and my monthly strategy that I have for the 12-week year, I have my lead goals. So those are those weekly things that you do each week that are specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. So I like to take a look at those and reset them for the month. So let me take you guys to mine and I'll put them up on the screen as well. Okay, so I have my 12-week year planning here in Notion. If you're interested in using the same format, I will leave a link to my template below. And let's go into my weekly lead goals. So a lot of them stayed the same actually from November. So I'll just kind of read them off just to give you a reminder in case you didn't watch my last one. So for body wellness, I have cardio 3 times a week, weekly snack planning, adding a healthier meal per week, sleep by 10, and Pilates. So those are the weekly things I'm doing for body wellness. For my business growth, I have posting 2 good YouTube videos per week, launching project work. So that's the launch of my printable weekly newsletter, 3 shorts forms per week, although I'm not really tied to that goal, so I don't know if I'm going to do it. Daily planner sharing, so whether that's on Mod Ambition Instagram, on my stories, just finding a way, Pinterest, whatever I can to get the word out about my planner. My December campaign work, I already mentioned that. So that's my business growth lead goals that I'll be tracking each week. And then for my family, I'll be tracking our daily grace, our family photo shoot project, planning our family trip, Elf on the Shelf. So these last ones are the main ones that I added. Elf on the Shelf, mailing our Christmas card, and daily prayer journal under spiritual wellness was also already there. So largely I'm just continuing a lot of the goals like for wellness and for my business from last month. And then nurturing my family. They're just a few different. So be sure to decide on your own lead goals, the specific things you're going to be doing each week that are going to help you reach those monthly goals. And that's what you'll be tracking each week when you plan your week. So thank you guys so much for joining me in my monthly plan with me. I'm wishing you a joyful December. Cheers to planning, manifesting, and enjoying your dream life. Namaste.
It's just gonna be you and me. Hey, by the fire.